Looking younger, and what spiritual meaning does it have? Let's see. Did you know that looking younger is not just genetics, nor is it a coincidence? Spiritually, it has a much deeper meaning than you think. People often appear younger than their age due to spiritual energy, not just aesthetics. It means you've kept your essence and inner fire alive even through pain and challenges. It's a sign that you carry within you a healing, wise, and elevated energy, and that, like the phoenix, you know how to rise from your ashes and regenerate your spirit. That's why you maintain youthfulness in your gaze, face, and posture. It's a clear sign you have a special mission in life. You likely relate to this. Children and animals are drawn to your purity. You're sensitive, empathetic, intuitive, love-helping, and see beyond the surface. Your environment perceives you as a pure soul, even if they don't always tell you. But be careful, that light can also attract people with low vibrations. That's why, if you have this gift, your task is to train it and channel it for your own good and the good of others, remember. True youth isn't in your skin, but in the energy of your soul inside you. Now tell me in the comments, do you feel that your spirit is younger than your age or not? Do you see yourself, or what do you think about what I've said? The curse of knowing too much. Have you ever felt that your intelligence is more of a burden than a blessing? Here's a truth that almost no one talks about, which is knowing too much. It can ruin your life, not because you're wrong, but because you see what others prefer to ignore. When your mind is too sharp, you notice what others don't see, you detect fake smiles, you hear the lie hidden behind compliments, you sense the hidden intention in every word. And what for many would be living peacefully, for you becomes noise, a party. Don't you enjoy the music? It's the same, since your brain analyzes social dynamics, even in superficial conversations. You get bored because you need depth, and then, without meaning to, you become more solitary. It's not that you don't want company, but superficial things no longer interest you. People think you're fine, weird, or distant, but the truth is different. You're not broken, you're just awake in a world that prefers to stay asleep. Your sensitivity and clarity are both your strength and challenge. The price of seeing too much is sometimes loneliness, but it's also the possibility of building authentic relationships, conscious projects, and a life aligned with your truth. Remember, it's not a curse, it's an awakening. Say goodbye in the comments. Have you ever felt your intelligence or perspective has set you apart from others? Also write here in the comments I'm awake in case you connect with this message. Butterflies and the secret to attracting what you desire. Have you ever tried to run after something, and the more you chase it, the further it gets away? Life works just like butterflies. When you run after them, they fly away. But when you create a beautiful garden full of flowers, they come on their own. Well, that garden is you. When you work on your inner self, when you cultivate your mind, your heart, and your energy, what you desire starts to come to you on its own. Furthermore, science confirms it. There's something in psychology called the trait attraction effect. Various studies show that people aren't attracted to what someone says they want, but rather to the energy, confidence, and values that person radiates. And in neuroscience, we know that when you elevate your emotional state, your brain starts to release dopamine and serotonin, neurotransmitters that literally change the way you perceive and attract opportunities in your life. In every area, because the truth is this, we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are. If you pursue from a place of lack, you'll only feel emptiness. But if you focus on that, growing, being abundance, vibrating in peace and love, life has no choice but to reflect that and bring you opportunities, love, prosperity, and joy. It's not about chasing after dreams as if they were butterflies impossible to catch. It's about becoming the person who naturally attracts everything. So remember, don't chase, attract. Cultivate your inner garden and the butterflies will come on their own. Share in the comments what butterfly or area of your life you're ready to attract today. Love, abundance, peace, health, because life always reflects what you are, never what you chase. There is an ancient Buddhist saying that goes like this: In the eyes of Buddha, everyone looks like Buddhas, but in the eyes of a pig, everyone looks like pigs. What does this mean? It means that the world is not as it is, the world is as you see it. So when your mind is at peace, joyful and calm, everything seems to flow. But if your mind is filled with negative thoughts, criticism and fears, then everything becomes a hostile place. This is also true in neuroscience. The truth is that the world is a mirror of your internal state. And here's the key. Can you be happy? By the way, Boa, imagine for a moment that everything that happens to you is perfect. Yes, even the mistakes, the stumbles, the wounds. You are exactly where you need to be to learn, grow and transform, to learn what you need to learn. Your life is not a mistake, it's training. Your virtues, your flaws, your shadows, everything is part of the perfect package that you are today. What's the trick? Smile. Even if it feels forced at first, neuroscience confirms it. It releases endorphins and starts to make you believe the story that everything is fine. And surprise, everything actually starts to get much better. Remember, we don't see the world as it is, but as we are. Choose to be happy today. By the way, now tell me in the comments, from which perspective do you choose to see the world today? From Buddha's perspective or the pig's? Also write the following phrase in the comments. The world reflects my mind, so I will be happy. By the way, I'm 66 years old. If you're between 30 and 50 years old, listen to me carefully. Is there something I need to tell you before time teaches you the hard way? When I was between 30 and 40 years old, I did everything right. Working, fulfilling, moving forward, organizing, planning, lists, goals, responsibilities, obligations. From the outside, everything looked like the right life, but over the years, I understood something uncomfortable. I was living on autopilot. When you do that for many years, one day you wake up and realize that you've built a life that doesn't quite feel like your own. Not because it's bad, but because you never stop to ask yourself vital and important questions like, for example, did I choose this or did I just go along with it? They're inherited programs from my ancestors. Most mistakes aren't from lack of effort, but from lack of awareness. We keep ourselves busy with that, just surviving, and we don't check if we're heading in the right direction. And here comes the second big lesson. Your identity is more important than your goals. You can achieve goals, but if you remain the same person inside, you'll end up back where you started. You'll repeat the same cycle. True change happens when you ask yourself, who am I being? Not just what do I want to achieve. And now the third truth, the most delicate one. No doesn't happen all at once. Time slips away little by little while you keep putting everything off for later. Right now, it's not too late, it never is, but it is too late to keep postponing what matters. You don't need a new life, you need decisions that align with who you want to be. Write it down below and read it calmly. Today I choose to live awake and not on autopilot. Thanks, concentrate on yourself and improve. What if I told you that worrying about what others think of you isn't about insecurity, but about not having a clear sense of your identity? Most people live trapped, seeking applause and running away from criticism, but here's the truth that sets you free. Applause is not a compass and criticism is not a sentence. People applaud you when you do what they prefer, when you do what they want, not when you do what you choose, what you feel in your heart. Pleasing others gradually makes you lose yourself, until resentment shows up, since you're not living the life you wanted and criticism isn't really about you. Most of the time, it's discomfort that's poorly managed. Something about the way you live, decide, or move forward triggers a wound in others, and they criticize you. The key is you can't avoid judgment because you'll be judged no matter what. The difference is whether you live aligned with yourself or you live as an edited version of your own authentic essence just to please others. And that doesn't work. Ask yourself this question before deciding to speak or post something. For example, does this align with my values or am I just avoiding others' judgment? Ask yourself that. They are the real filter, not others' opinions, likes, or the noise that surrounds you when choosing your values. Judgment loses its power and freedom appears. Important phrase. I can't be free if I'm afraid of rejection and I seek the approval of others. Right below. I choose to live by my values, not others' opinions. What broke you actually built you. Think about it for a moment. What was breaking you was actually building you. Take a closer look. Crises, losses, and disappointments can feel like the end of the world and make you feel weak and trapped. Over time, you realize something amazing. Every fall was hidden training. Neuroscience tells us that your brain adapts, gets stronger, and creates new connections after pain. What once seemed like a wound becomes the basis for your new identity. And looking back, what happens when you realize that without those trials, you would never have awakened the strength you have today? Remember that what broke you yesterday is silently building you today. Now tell me in the comments, what tough experience ended up being a blessing for you? That's how willpower is built. How can you stop bad habits and stay focused? Let's get started. Do you want to know why? Most people start a habit with excitement, but they give it up after a few weeks. It's not because they lack willpower or because they're lazy. The real reason lies in how we think about habits. The real reason is in our limiting beliefs and the way we manage our energy. Today, I'll show you how to eliminate bad habits, avoid distractions, and build consistency to achieve the life you want. What is the most common mistake at these times? We live in the age of immediacy. We want everything right now, and when we don't get it quickly, we give up. A common mistake is thinking in terms of perfection, like believing you must work out for 45 minutes or not at all. Today, I already ate badly, so I'm going to finish the whole pack of cookies. This all-or-nothing thinking always ends in failure because habits aren't built from perfection, but from repetition, and always with positivity and inner commitment. Strategies to truly change habits. 1. Aim for excellence, not perfection. Consistency means taking small steps each day toward your best self, not doing things perfectly every time. Set minimums and maximums. For example, exercise for at least 15 minutes and no more than 45 minutes. For example, if you're tired, you do the minimum, and if you have energy, you aim for the maximum. This builds real consistency. Work on your inner dialogue. If you tell yourself you're a mess or worthless after failing, your subconscious will listen and sabotage you. Change that mental script for a supportive one, like today I couldn't do it, but tomorrow I'll try again because I'm learning. 4. Focus on managing your energy, not just your time. Your brain prefers comfort and avoids effort. That's why you should schedule your most important habits for the times of day when you have the most strength. Not everyone is in the 5 a.m. club. Discover your peak energy time each day. Moments. 5. Real change comes when you remove what drains your energy. Distractions, comparisons, and commitments that don't add value. Remember, you are defined by your daily actions, not occasional ones. To change your life, take a small step today. Don't seek perfection, seek progress, because consistency, not perfection, is what will transform your life. Tell me in the comments which bad habit you want to get rid of and what new habit you want to build in its place. Write it down below and let's start this journey together.